In this video, I'm going to be talking about Marion County, Indiana specifically, and how they handle initial hearings for their criminal cases in their courts. A lot of people may not know much about the criminal court process, but this video is designed to help you understand more. So about me, my name's Nathan Vining. I'm a criminal defense attorney in Indianapolis, and I represent people in criminal cases throughout the state of Indiana and have a lot of experience in Marion County specifically. In this video, you should know more about what to expect in your Marion County initial hearing. So here is an overview of the Marion County criminal court process. The first hearing is the initial hearing. It's followed by a pretrial conference, the omnibus hearing, final pretrial conference, and ultimately you end up doing a guilty plea or a trial and then going to a sentencing. There's a couple things you should know about an initial hearing in Marion County. First, the court is not looking to hear about facts of your case during this court date. If you start talking, the court will likely stop you. And that's because it's not an appropriate time for this kind of conversation. The judge isn't there to hear about what happened that day. They're really there to make sure you know what the charges are and know what your rights are. And second, the judge will likely enter a guilty plea for you. Some people are confused by this because they're like, hey, I did this, I'm guilty, I just want to admit my guilt and move forward. But this court operates quickly and it doesn't have time for guilty pleas in this court setting. And the court also wants to be sure that you really understand everything and take your time with the decision. So it's done on a different day. If you want to plead guilty, it's going to have to happen on a different day. Third, the initial hearing court in Marion County is really hard to find. We have what's called as an initial hearing court. And so instead of going to the individual courtroom, you go to one specific court, Court 11, and that's where the initial hearings are heard. You get there by taking escalators down and then turning left. And when you get there, you can't miss checking in. And ultimately what happens is you check in and then an individual there will take you and sit you down in a seat and you'll wait for your case to get called. It's also a little confusing and almost seems chaotic and hectic because there's a lot of people in there and the court's going to be going over multiple cases at one time. So the judge will be going down the row and asking people, did you hear that? Do you understand your rights? And be asking you different yes and no questions. The fourth thing that I want to cover is a bit of that. It's really the process feels chaotic. So you should really trust and listen to the court staff and they'll help you get through it. And fifth, you're not going to have much of a chance to talk to prosecutor that day or get into substantive facts. The people at this court date are going to be people assigned to initial hearing court. It may not be the prosecutor or public defender that's ultimately assigned to your case. So your next conversation where you really get into the substantive points of the case is going to happen at the pretrial conference, which is what we talk about in another video. So to sum up what you need to know, first, get to your initial hearing in Marion County early because the court can be hard to find. Second, be sure you plead not guilty so you have appropriate time to review everything about your case, know what you're doing, and then make decisions. And third, remember it's just a procedural hearing. It's not a time to get into specifics with the prosecutor. And if you have an attorney, you can bypass a little of this process because the court will call you up and do your case individually to get you in and out of there quicker. So again, my name's Nathan Vining. Feel free to call me or text me if you need any more information or have questions.